Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the feature race at Arlington Park on Saturday. Race number 8 is the Grade 3 Arlington Classic for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the turf. Let's take a peek at this field. Your morning line favorite is the number 4 Esmash, a Keeneland graduate at 9-5 on the morning line. And this is a horse, an Oklahoma bred, that might have finally found a home on turf after competing in some salty spots on the dirt. He made his turf debut most recently at the fairgrounds, and I can understand some handicappers who watched that race and wanted more out of Esmash. He was 3-5 that day. He sat a beautiful trip, tracking the pace 3 wide, attacking on the outside, and then kind of grinding it out instead of really striding away from that field. I think trainer Brad Cox looked at that race originally as a stepping stone to some races like the American Turf on Kentucky Derby weekend, but that race didn't come back very fast, a 77 Beyer speed figure, and it might not have impressed Cox enough. So he's going to perhaps take the path of least resistance and run in the Arlington Classic, and he deserves to be the favorite based on his overall body of work. He also has good tactical speed, and that should put him in nice stead, as we see from the Timeform US Pace Projector. And one of the great things about the Pace Projector is you can handicap it. The Pace Projector has the 3 alternative route out there on the lead, and I have no issue with that. I don't think that the 4 Esmash, though, is going to be that close to the pace. I think the 8 Papa Rizzo is going to show speed, and I'd put him second, with Esmash sitting behind those two in a fairly comfortable spot under Jose Valdivia in third. Esmash's last race maybe lacked a little bit of sizzle, but he got the job done. He's faced good horses, and he certainly fits well as the deserving favorite in this spot. Let's talk about the expected pace setter, the 3 alternative route, who really looked good, winning his synthetic debut last time out, the Rushaway Stakes at Turfway Park in the middle of March. That was a very fast pace for that caliber of horse, according to Timeform US, and alternative route just kept right on going. If you believe that synthetic form translates successfully to turf, as some handicappers do, you like alternative routes, synthetic debut obviously, but he's also got some turf pedigree. He's a full brother to Enstone, a graded stakes winner on the lawn. Alternative route will be forwardly placed. It looks like he is going to handle this surface just fine. The key for him is he can't get pressed too hard through a fast pace, or else it could work against alternative route. But he's a logical contender. Another horse trying turf for the first time is the number 1, the Money Dance. And the jury is still out as to whether his sire, Jimmy Creed, is going to be a turf stallion or not. This is only his second crop coming out this year. He's 1 for 16 with his first-time turf runners. The dam was a stakes winner on dirt, but she was also multiple stakes placed on turf, and she was a first-time turf winner. And that dam is also a half-sister to a multiple stakes placed turf runner named Just Like Jimmy. So I think the Money Dance has enough turf pedigree to succeed on Saturday. He's certainly coming into this race in excellent form. 2 wins on dirt with Beyers of 78 and 83. Both of those Beyer speed figures faster than the race Esmash exits on turf. The Money Dance also figures to work out a good ground-saving trip behind what is expected to be a fast pace. This is an interesting newcomer to the turf. 7-2 on the morning line. I'd want a little bit more, but that's just because I'm greedy. The number 6 Pon du Gard is one of 2 in here, trained by Nacho Correas. Please throw out his performance in the American Turf. He was 58-1 for a reason, probably because he was outclassed, and the yielding turf didn't help either. 2 starts back, he faced fellow Louisiana breds at 7.5 furlongs, and while he had a little bit of trouble, he's still supposed to win that race at 1-2. I think the jury's still out as to Pon du Gard's ultimate quality, but he is a horse that would benefit from a fast pace up front. Correas' other horse is the 5 Question de Tempo, and like Pon du Gard, please throw out the last race. That was the Columbia Stakes at Tampa Bay Downs, and Question de Tempo is 62-1. He was also up close to a very, very fast pace. And I know Guido went gate to wire, but that looks like a very promising horse. And the horses that were chasing Guido in second and third and fourth, like Question de Tempo, ended up far, far back. That Columbia was a live race. The runner-up Captivating Moon came back to place in the Transylvania and the American Turf with Beyers of 88. The third-place horse came back to win on dirt with an 86 figure. Throw that Question de Tempo race last time out. 2 back, though, against Speed Franco. If you really want to be a forgiving handicapper, you could say, Wet Turk, of course. He didn't have to like that. And then you're left with 2 gate-to-wire wins, albeit in slow time. Question de Tempo probably can work out a good stalking trip, but as with his uncoupled stablemate, we still got to figure out how good he is. The 8 is Papa Rizzo, a maiden winner last time out at Hawthorne going a mile, and he set some legitimate fractions for that class of horse. The problem is he's probably not going to get away with the lead. Timeform US thinks that Alternative Route is faster, and while Alternative Route probably would be happy to concede if Papa Rizzo is aggressively ridden by Carlos Marquez, I'm not sure you want to be too aggressively ridden considering the fast-paced scenario. Papa Rizzo has improved for this barn. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a minor award, but a win could be just out of reach. The 2 is Wild Score, who scored on the synthetic at Arlington last time out, the poly track, a race that was washed off of the turf, and is a horse that is 1-for-1 lifetime on the lawn. The problem is his wins have come against claiming competition, and this is a gigantic hike in class. The 2 is Kitten Agetin, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kitten Agetin could get a piece of this, considering his running style, considering his pedigree as a son of English Channel out of a Kitten's Joy mare. You don't get much better grass pedigree than that. Kitten Agetin is slowly moving forward from a Beyer speed figure standpoint, and he runs at the end of his races, which could really be advantageous to him if the pace is fast. He still has to move up from a speed figure style. He's going to be tested for class, but maybe Kitten Agetin's the kind of horse you want to use underneath in single race exotics. As we take a look at my selection for the Grade 3 Arlington Classic, I would like to note that this is more of a spread race than anything else. I picked Esmash. I thought he was good enough in his last race on turf. I was a little bit unhappy that he didn't run in that big turf race at Churchill Downs on Derby week, instead giving a little bit of a freshening, but I think he works out the right trip. I don't think the value is there for a win bet though, so I'm going to try to hook him up with the number 1, The Money Dance, a horse trying turf for the first time that's going to get a good situation. Alternative Route is my 3rd choice. I'm going to go 4, 1, 3, and 8 in the Grade 3 Arlington Classic. Race number 8 at Arlington on Saturday has an approximate post of 5:13 Central. Best of luck.